Welcome to Food for Thought. I feel like I don't usually do an intro, but I just been sitting here, just relaxing, breathing, trying to be in the moment. And the thing about Food for Thought is, if you hungry, I got something for you. I got some food for you at all times. You just got to be hungry and ready to eat. So today I want to talk about just being present, how the benefits of being present and how just being present is what you should be at all times. And I want to include some stories from myself and like some experiences that came from me because I'm not always present, and sometimes I got to snap myself back into the present moment so I can be feeling everything that's going on and I'm not missing anything. So the thing about being present, the benefit is you can tell when somebody is really in the moment versus when somebody is maybe veered off, like thinking in their head, thinking about something else. They rather be somewhere else. It's just they're not where their feet are, And when you're not where your feet are, a lot of times it can cause you to miss out on really anything. And from personal experiences, when you're really present, you see so many synchronicities. You see just so much stuff that it's real deep once you really pay attention to it. And it's really hard to explain it without feeling like I'm sounding like I'm making up something, or it's really something to be experienced. But I understand and I empathize with a lot of people because before I even started this journey that I was on, and I started this journey years ago, but I really wasn't into being present like that. I knew the knowledge, but I wasn't applying it. But once I started applying the knowledge, I started seeing results, and I started just seeing small little signs until they got bigger and bigger. And I feel like now I'm able to live in my full being. I'm able to live in my full purpose and be there at all times. And I feel like, especially with my presence, I feel like I'm so present. People just like gravitate towards me, or they just feel like to include me in things because they know I'm always where my feet is at. I'm not out of the whack. I'm not out of the moment. Some exercises that I really practice to really stay present, maybe things like just paying attention to my breathing, feeling my feet, like moving my feet on the ground. That's another way to feeling my feet on the ground. I'm looking around, I'm sniffing, I'm just trying to find something to anything, bro. It could literally be anything that's going on. Just listen. Like, I have my MacBook right now. I'm present. I can hear myself talking. I feel myself talking from my throat. I can hear my MacBook fan. I'm looking at the smoke from this incense. It's just like things that's grounding me in the moment and keeping me from being in my head and thinking about other things that are not in this moment right now. Simple things like I feel like paying attention to your breath may be the easiest thing ever because it's really a natural flow. And once you latch on to that natural flow, anything could be going on, but as long as you're breathing, you where you at. And that makes it easier. But I would say at times before I got into being present and before I got into being in the moment, there were a bunch of times, and lately, I would say I've been fighting it a lot. Lately, I've been in my head and I would have just random thoughts and I would just follow that thought to the point it just took me out of the moment a bunch. And I would come back to the moment and I'm like, dang, bro. It's like once you practice your presence, once you get in your head, for me personally, it feels like I will sleep. So when I come back to, I'm like, man, I fell asleep again. I was daydreaming again. The number one key, though, when you do realize that, is to not be hard on yourself or try to get down on yourself about it. But I feel like the first step to everything, to even fixing the smallest problem, is being conscious of that problem. So me leaving those little markers, oh, I was asleep, that prevents me from going to sleep for a long time. And after a while, it becomes a habit of being present and not being asleep, in quotation marks. Whatever you want to call it, that's what you call it. But going back to being asleep, I won't lie and act like it's not easy to go to sleep, because it's a dream. It feels like a dream when you're imagining all of these things in your head, basically overthinking. It is so easy to really latch to it because it's you making it for yourself. So I could really make up a story about what's going on and be like, oh yeah, this person is doing this or that. And it sounds good to me. So it's easy for me to indulge and really delve into those thought processes and take me away from the moment. So when you notice yourself maybe creating a narrative or anything, please just try to be present. And no matter how good it sounds, remember, this is you making it for yourself. So it's going to sound the finest ever, and it's going to be made to pull you into it. Basically, you're making your own illusion. So, of course, you're about to make the best illusion for yourself, something for you to dive into. And I want everybody to be present, and I want everybody to practice presence, just being right now, because anything else is non-existent. All you have is right now. So many times in my life, there were moments where I would just get so present in the moment. I was just there. And when you're just there, I feel like you vibrate the highest and you glow the most, because you don't have an ego or anything blocking you from being your full self and basically service to others. There were just many moments and opportunities that arise from being present. The smallest things you will see, and it's like, ooh, I can do this, I can do that. I want to say a specific example is, I remember when we were at the radio station and I was recording for school, and it was just, I was so in the moment, just listening to everything he was saying, watching everything, the radio. It was almost like I channeled or I manifested. I don't know what I did, but I was like, oh, I'm going to have a radio interview with Leisha. We going to talk. We going to chop it up. The very, like, literally moments later, oh, I want to, let's talk. Get on this station. Boom. I'm like, oh. And I have many examples of moments like that where I'm just so in the moment and so present and just sending my love to everybody in the moment. And it turns right back on to me. So just take those light examples, because I don't want to make anybody have expectations of what's to come. But just do the small things and be present. And I promise you, grab your journal and write down your experiences. And I bet you see, the more present you are, the more experiences, the more being, the more expression, the more everything that you will provide and you will have for yourself. So I would like to just end this episode telling you to be present, breathe, and you got this at all times. Just don't get in your head. Don't get in that illusion of thoughts. Don't seep and don't fall. You got this.